Hey guys, today I'll be showing you how I painted this piece. This was really fun to paint because although I did have a reference picture, I had no idea what I was doing. I think this piece took me about 4 days to paint, and I started out first by having a blue under layer. I started out by blocking out colors, but then I decided not to, and I just did a thin wash of skin tone colors. I got my reference picture off of Instagram and I really liked it because there was a lot of red tones in it, and I've been vibing with red, so I really wanted to paint it. So now I'm putting in much more saturated colors like the red hair, and I'm making the eyes, nose, lips much more prominent by using a violet to outline the features. I'm actually not exactly sure why I used a blue underpainting because I did want complementary colors, but then using blue as an underpainting dulled out the red, which meant I had to use a lot more layers to make the painting much more vibrant. I spent a lot of time blocking out colors on the face because it makes painting the details later on much more easier. Going back to reference pictures, I really like to use them for practice, especially because I'm not working on my art portfolio right now. This is just for fun, but I still like to change up my own painting so it's different from the reference picture. Well, kind of different. I'm adding some highlights and some midtones on the lips to make them look more like lips. And I'm doing the same for the other parts of the face. I did so much art around June to January that I thought I was going to be tired of art forever, and I was really stressed out from it because it was for my college art portfolio. So I took a break for a while, and then this month I started painting a lot more, and I realized how nice and de-stressing it was. The thing about art is that you have to keep on doing it so that you don't lose your, in quotation marks, touch, and it helps to practice every single day to improve, because sometimes if I take a break for a week or so, I kind of forget how to paint for a moment. Since I was rambling, I re-added a lot more details onto the face, and I'm tackling the eyes now because I know there's something wrong with them. They just didn't look right, so I kept on trying to fix them. These clips are really long, so I cut out a lot of them, but in the beginning the eyes were so scary. The red brush that I'm holding right now is the brush I mainly used for this painting. It's really nice and flat and small and great for details. I forgot to mention this, but I'm using oil paint for this painting, as I do with much of my paintings because I really don't like acrylic. Acrylic dries way too fast for my liking, but for oil paint I mainly use Winsor & Newton oil paints, and then I use Gamsol as a paint thinner and brush cleaner, and liquid. Many of you guys asked how I balance schoolwork and art. The thing is, I really don't have much classes right now, and I don't have a lot of homework for them, so I have a lot of free time to do art actually. But before first semester, when I was working on college apps, I would go to art class for 4 to 6 hours a day every single day, and it was really tiring, but I just pushed through. And then I slept really late the first semester of high school because I went home, I went to art, and I had to come back home and study for tests and do homework. I'm not really sure how I survived through that, but I did. Now I'm just reshaping the lips because something was off with that too. Actually, I'm pretty sure there was something wrong with the proportions of the whole face, which is why I kept on fixing it and adding more paint and taking out paint by adding in more paint. Random fact, I really like to paint lips. It's just really fun to paint the texture of them and to add the highlights and stuff. I'm also adding in some orange and yellow shades because all pink and red is just a tad bit boring. So one main question that I always get is how to improve on art. The thing is, I will give the really hello basic answer that everyone gives on how to improve on art. Many of you may disagree with me on this, but I believe that art does come with some sort of innate talent in the beginning. But like everyone says, to improve on art, you need to practice every day, observe the stuff around you, and draw them. It's always good to keep a sketchbook around so you can draw when you're bored or draw down your ideas and stuff. In fact, you should draw in your sketchbook every single day. Although using reference images to copy and draw is really good for practice, it is also important to stay creative and to paint down your own ideas instead of just copying an image. Trying out new mediums is also important. Like, don't just stick to one medium. Try out like everything you can if you're able to get your hands on them. Also, I find looking at other artists' works gives me a lot of inspiration, and I also watch a lot of tutorials and art speed paints, and not only do they inspire me, they also help me learn more skills. So that's it for all the art tips I can give to you for now. And since I've been talking about this, I'm already done tackling the eyes, and it took me a really long time, but I think I finally got the proportions of them right. In layers, I'm just continuing to add on shadows and midtones and highlights. I've actually never done a chit-chatty kind of video like this, and this is surprisingly really fun. I think I will do more of these voiceover type of chit-chatty paint with me videos in the future. Surprisingly, after I made that depressed talk video before this video, I actually got a lot more motivated to paint and film stuff, which is kind of funny. Another question that I get asked is, how do you finish your pieces? For me, if I work on one piece for more than 5 days, I get really tired of it and I just don't want to paint it anymore. So in order to prevent that piece from staying unfinished, I just stop painting it for a while, move on to a new piece, or go do something else, and I come back like a week later to finish it. That's why painting on smaller canvases is so much nicer, because I know that I'll be able to finish it within a day to 4 days. Now that I'm nearing the end of my painting process, I decided to add in some gold freckles on her face. I'm using gold paint to place down the freckles first, and I'm adding some of the gold flakes onto it, and that took a really long time because I couldn't get it off the paintbrush. And I'm using acrylic gold paint for this, and I know that's really bad because you shouldn't be putting acrylic paint on oil paint that's not dried yet, but I just couldn't resist because the gold was so pretty. I'm also using the same gold paint to add onto some of the highlighted areas on the lip and the hair. And then I mixed white paint with a lot of thinner to make it watery, and then I started using a large round-tipped brush to fleck on the white dots onto the canvas. You can also do this by using a toothbrush. Then I did the same thing by thinning out the white, except I added more blue in it because I want some blue dots. RIP my hands, because I'm a really messy painter, so by the end of this painting, my hands were covered in paint basically. I also used a smaller paintbrush to go in with some more white and gold. I find finger painting very helpful and important when painting with oils. Now I'm using a sparkly pearl embossing powder to blow sparkles onto the painting. So I was actually in Michael's looking for actual glitter, except I accidentally bought embossing powder, but it's okay because I like it more than glitter now. I'm just adding some final touches to here, so I'm basically done with this painting. I can't wait to glaze this piece once it's dry. I'm just using my initials as my signature because I'm a tad too scared to do a longer one because I might mess up. So this is what the finished piece looks like. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you like this piece. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye!